Hello everybody, we have one day left until we start our workshops for the film festival. I hope you are ready. I hope you're excited. If you're not ready, that's okay. We're going to get you ready. We're going to get you there. We're going to help you. A couple things we're going to cover today. The two themes. One is what inspires you. What inspires you? So you can do so many different things with just that one little thing. What inspires you? Number two is new beginnings. New beginnings. You can do a lot of things with new beginnings. I got somebody doing a zombie movie with new beginnings. So I just want to make sure we cover that so you have that in the back of your head of when you're doing this, when you're writing, that you have those two themes in there, or one of those two themes in there. Other thing is the time limit. Your time limit for your video is 3 to 7 minutes long. That may not sound very long to you, but that's a long time, especially if it's your very first video. And for the rest of this video, I want to talk to you about two things. One is that Bible story I talked to you about. Remember that little boy who had the fish? He only had a couple fish and some bread, and there was all those people to feed. And he gave it to Jesus, and Jesus fed all those people with that fish and that bread. Now the first video, I talked about how take the little bit that you have and give it to God and see what he does with it. Well, part of that has to go with your story that you've written. So maybe you won't think you have the best story. That's okay. Run with it. Maybe you don't think you have the best camera shots of this. At some point, you have to just run with something. You have to just do it. You have to just try. Because if you wait until it's perfect, it's never going to happen. Of course, things won't be perfect right at first. You learn from them. You grow from it. And that's all part of the process, okay? Is starting with something, even though it's not the best, but you just take a step forward. I think one of the biggest things people struggle with is the fear of failure. So we never want to try anything. And I'm telling myself that too. I have things that I would like to do, but I don't do because I'm afraid. Well, this one thing for you is not going to be that, okay? We're going to take a step out. And even if you don't think it's the greatest thing, that's fine. You're going to do it anyway. The other part of that story that I want to bring up is how this kid gave the little bit he had for the benefit of other people. And I want you to keep that in your mind when you're writing your story. How can my video help someone else? How can the little bit that I have, how can I give it to help someone else? Give it to God to help them. However you want to look at it. The point is that your video should give something good to someone else. Benefits not just you, but other people. So keep that in the back of your mind, okay? The last thing I want to talk to you about is walking through step by step one of the videos that I have made, just to get just a glimmer of a glimpse of what it looks like, okay? So we're gonna take the promo video, and hopefully you've seen the promo video. If you haven't, go watch it so that you know what I'm talking about. And I'm gonna take you step by step of how I got to that finished product. The first thing is I started thinking about what it is that I wanted to say, and I started jotting down ideas. I started writing out the script. And as you can see here, there's parts that I crossed out and restarted and tried again. So you start with something rough, right? It doesn't look perfect. You're starting to write out ideas, you're scribbling ideas, get it on paper. Maybe it's not the best thing, but just write it down. And then from that step, I started to finesse it and making it a little bit better. Organizing my thoughts more, laying it out further. So that's the next step. You take a raw material, and you're probably gonna go through many different variations of your script, many different takes on what you write. It's going to change, it's going to evolve a lot. The next step, once you have it pretty well concrete of what you want to do, you're going to make little blocks of storyboarding. Now, as you can see here, I don't have pictures in my storyboard because I did not have much time to do this. If I did have time, I would have done little stick figures, but normally you would have stick figure drawings of what your shots are going to look like in here. And that's your guide. That's your guide for each of your shot. Like I said, my shots were super simple. It was just me in front of the camera talking at these various locations. I was more concerned with the locations than I was with what my picture looked like. That won't be the case with you. Location will be important, but it'll also be what your shot looks like. That way, when you go to take that shot, you can get an idea when you're looking at your storyboard of what your shots should look like. See, this is an example of what a storyboard should look like. Maybe you're good at drawing, maybe you're not, it doesn't matter. You can just do stick figures. It's all about getting a picture in your brain about what you want to capture in your camera lens, okay? So that's the next step. After you've got your storyboard, Then you go out and you film. First, obviously, you need to prepare. That was the whole next part, right? Having what equipment do I need? I needed to have my mic, this mic here, my cell phone, which is what my mic was plugging into for my audio. I needed to have my tripod, my camera, or while I filmed it on my wife's phone, so I needed to have my tripod, my camera, and my script. I need to have those things. Pretty simple, pretty basic. Nothing too fancy. And that's mostly how yours will be. Nothing too fancy. But you got to make sure you have those things. And then I went and I tried to organize my shots. I didn't want to, I have various times I have a shot in front of the movie theater. And at various times in the video, I have a shot in front of Ace Hardware Schoolhouse. I didn't want to have to go back and forth to film these shots. So I wanted to highlight when I was speaking in front of the theater, and I covered all those lines, boom, 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 all at the same time. I didn't want to have to come back to there, so I did them all at once. So I made so I'm organizing my shot list. After I get all my shots gathered, and then getting your shots together takes time. Okay, and you got to be patient. Sometimes you won't have the opportunity to get this shot you need. It's okay. Well, what can we get? Right? It's all about what you can get. It's not exactly what you want the most to get. Sometimes that's not available right now. What can you do? Work with what you have right now. Hugely important. And be patient. Don't freak out. Don't think this is all going to fall apart. Okay? For me, I pray a lot. Like, God, help me first of all to be patient, and then help me to get the shots that I need. Help me to and a lot of times He provides. He sets me up for that. But I gotta wait. I gotta be patient. That's part of it for you. Okay, I got all my shots together. I come here on the computer. Now here's the whole importing process. Now, if you're gonna be filming these on your phone, if you have an iPhone, then you can do what's called airdropping. So you would select your shots. So I want to select this shot. You would select it. And then we're going to send it. We're going to airdrop it, and I can airdrop it straight to my computer. Boom, just like that. If you have a Samsung, we might have to do it a little bit differently. But iPhone's going to be the easiest to work with for this on a Mac computer. Now, as far as the editing stuff goes, we are limited on the number of computers that we have for you to edit, so we're going to have to set up different times for you to come and edit. All right, so once you have uploaded all your shots, and you have them organized, you're going to get them organized in bins here. We're going to talk about all that later. Then you're going to place them here on your timeline. And as you can see here, I have my shots lined out and I have my audio underneath it. We'll talk about how you're going to work on that. And you piece it together. Now, when you're putting your shots in order, you're going to work on your timing and putting it together, and I'll teach you all these different tools of doing this. All right, I hope you guys are ready for this Thursday. Make sure you're there on time, 6 p.m. at the schoolhouse. Have your notepads and paper ready. We're going to be handing out tripods for you to be using during your time. Come ready to learn and ready to improve on your story and finesse it and make it better and better and better. We're going to work with you. We're going to help you to make it the best that it can be. All right? We'll see you there.